Hello, and greetings. It's Episcopus Squirrel here, also known as Alchemage. And I'm here before you all this evening on the 21st of April on what is now practiced by the Christian religion of Easter. And today celebrates the resurrection of Christ after being crucified on the cross and being dead for 3 days. And, there's a lot of confusion in people asking where the whole idea of rabbits and eggs came from. And I'm sure many of you have seen the meme that goes around. I'll try and find it and post it in this article with the introduction. But it's a meme that I've seen multiple times on Facebook throughout the years as the day of Easter comes closer. And so in this meme it mentions the goddess Ishtar. And basically they say that Ishtar is, this goddess of fertility who has the symbol of the hare and the eggs, and that the idea that Ishtar sounds like Easter. Well, as far as I'm aware, this is actually incorrect. Ishtar, I can't remember what she's a goddess of. She might be fertility, so I can't really talk about that because I can't recall. But her symbols are not the hare, the rabbit, or whatever, or eggs. The lion is one of her symbols. A reed that's been twisted into a knot is another one of their of Ishtar's symbols. Eight-pointed star is another one. Anyways, as you can see, these are not the symbols that we most likely are associating with the celebration of Easter. And so, what's interesting is that the practice of Easter, it kind of comes from what I've uncovered in my research, is that it comes from an oral tradition that is not really written down anywhere. There are some instances where it may have been put in inscriptions, but I'll get to that in a moment. And so what I've uncovered is that the practice of Easter actually comes from the worship of the goddess, I want to get this right, Eostre, and that's spelled Eostre, maybe A, Eostre. I think it's an A. Also known as Ostara. And this goddess is a goddess of fertility, and she is a Germanic, Anglo-Saxon goddess of fertility, and this goddess has the hare and the egg as two of her symbols. And if we look back, so basically where we get this main idea from is from the writings of Saint Bede, a Benedictine monk who basically talked about the practice of Easter occurring during this I can't remember the Germanic name of the month, but it's like Ostara is something. It has Ostara as um, the name of the name of the month, and that time actually aligned with April, and so um, the story goes as far as we are aware that, and this comes from um, Germanic. You can find it was found in like research of like newspapers and magazines throughout the years, where Germanic people who have immigrated to the United States have talked about their traditions. And so the story goes something along the lines that um, there was a bird that Yastra cast a spell on and changed into a rabbit, into a hare. And the bird felt blessed that it was now this four-legged mammal, this quadruped. And so once a year, upon the the time of the festival for Iostera, Iostra, excuse me, I just combined both names, um, around the time of the year for the festival of Iostra. It's really difficult to say. Iostra is so during the time of the year of the festival of Iostra, this hare that was a bird retained its ability to lay eggs, and they were beautifully ornate eggs, and they would be laying in celebration for Yastra for her festival. And so this is where we get the celebration of Easter being associated with the bunny and the egg. And so yeah, so like as Christianity took over throughout Western Europe, into Eastern Europe, this celebration of the resurrection of Christ took over the Iastra festival, the celebration of the goddess of fertility. And as I've mentioned in previous videos, while the Christians were taking over these pagan areas and establishing their their churches on pagan sites, they were forcing pagans to build Christian churches on the pagan sites, and so the pagans would hide their symbolism within the buildings, within the architecture, within the paintings, within the statues, and so these symbols continued on through practice as such. So yeah, that's kind of where we get that practice. And yeah, hope you guys are having a good day. It's a beautiful day here in Portland, a little overcast, but yeah. So thank you for joining me today, and I hope you have a beautiful day.